Welcome, everybody, to another Patch Notes breakdown. It's the bonus update for 11.7 here on Smite 1, and we're slowly but surely approaching Smite 2 24/7 Alpha coming next month, August 27th. If you have yet to purchase your Founders Edition and you're wanting to get that Cacodemon Ymir, make sure to nexus.gg/Blaze McBain to grab yourself a Founders Pack. But let's hop into this update and check out to see what came out today in the bonus balance. First of all, Warlock staff, they're going to fix an issue where the evolved version of this item did not properly receive the buff it was meant to get in the 11.7 main patch. Shield of Phoenix, they added clarification to the description on the amount of heals per ability. Shifter's Shield, the item that I saw it built 7 times in one comp game last night, including on an ADC, is getting nerfed because it needed it. Decreased health down to 250. Fizz prots are now at 20 instead of 30. Magical power is down to 30 instead of 45. So just getting rid of that power fluctuation, lowering it down a little bit. Shifter Shield still going to get built, but not going to be built on, support, solo, jungle, carry. Maybe you find a mid that builds it too. I don't know, but Shifter Shield's going to be down a little bit in the play style, hopefully. God, I hope so. Archdruid's Fury, an item that we actually saw come up a little bit, is getting decreased base damage per stack, now 30 down to 25. I think this is still going to be a good item. I don't think this affects it too much, but we're still going to see it, I think. Shield of Thorns, they decreased the base damage on all of the versions of Thorns down to 85 from 100. This has been going pretty well for solos. Solos in that, more damage-oriented playstyle, and ADCs are feeling it. But honestly, ADCs just learn how to play against Thorns. I mean, really and truly, as an ADC player, you see the Thorns, walk away, don't attack for a little bit, and you'll be fine. Kin size decreased the damage scaling floor from 2250 now down to 2000. So kin size is going to be feeling a lot better. And I think this is a good change for kin size. Soul Reaver decreased the damage scaling down to 2000 as well. And then we're going to get to our gods. Ymir, Frostbite's description updated to properly state that enemies affected by Frostbite deal 15% less damage. Erlang Shin, the man, the myth, the legend that got buffed, getting that knockup back, is now receiving some nerfs here, justifiably so, because he's been doing some work in the solo and the jungle, and sometimes even support. So decreased the base health from 45 to 475, decreased his health per level down to 82 from 85. Spot weakness, decreased the damage, was 12 scaling to 52, now 10 scaling to 50, so took a little bit off there, and decreased the lifesteal, was 4.5 scaling to 22.5, now 4 scaling to 20%. So just some slight adjustments to Erlang to make them less viable in those roles, but it's not going to be enough to take people away from playing them. Artio, they're doing a partial revert. Energy Surge and Maul Prey, they're going to decrease the heal. Was scaling from 40 to 200, now scaling 40 to 120. That's a pretty substantial nerf. Horus is getting a shift. Fracture, the decreased protections and reduction debuff from 10 scaling to 30, now it's going to be 5 scaling to 25. Decreased the cooldown, was 15 scaling down to 13, now going to be 14 scaling down to 12. So interesting change here on Horus. We'll have to see how that plays out. I don't think it's, neither here nor there on that one. Morgan Le Fay, a god that I saw pop off last night. So in some instances, this god is still really, really good. Consuming power, increased mark damage scaling from 8% to 10%. Increased projectile damage scaling from 40% to 45%. And added 50 scaling to 130 heal per hit. Morgan Le Fay is already pretty good. I think this is just going to help make her even better. So if you're a Morgan Le Fay player, congrats. Baba Yaga getting some love. Increased the damage mitigation on Blast Off. Now 35% at all ranks, which is pretty huge. Home Sweet Home, increased shield health scaling from 25% to 30% of her magical power. So seeing some nice little Baba buffs here. Along with Kernanos getting a little bit of love. Heavy Glaive increased the damage from 25 to 30% of his basic attacks. Bramble Blast increased the damage, now scaling 65 to 205, so nice little 10 damage increase. And then Horn Charge decreased the cooldown, was 17 scaling to 13, going to be 15 scaling down to 13 instead. So going to be feeling better overall. I expect to see more Kernanos. I think ADCs are in a pretty good spot right now, and there's a lot of even playing field there. Kernanos getting buffed definitely helps bring him back up into the fray. Jormungandr, basic attacks decreased rate at which Yorm's basic attack frequency slows down by roughly 30%. decreased his mana cost on Venomous Haze from 60 to 80 was the previous. Now it's going to be 50 to 70 instead. In World Serpent, its cooldowns are now going to be at 90 seconds instead of 100. That's going to be it for the bonus balance. I'd love to hear what do you expect or hope to see in 11.8. There's been a lot of shakeup the past 2 patches, which has made for a fun time. I hope I see you out there on the battleground, and as always, make sure to come check out the channel at twitch.tv/BlazeMcBain. Hope to see you all there, and maybe even join in on some queues. Later.